first? Okay. Hello, Rob Kenny here. It's senior night at the Irish ladies soccer game against Peoria Central. It's, like I said, it's senior night here. We have one of our fine seniors here, Kayla Piper. We just want to get to say hi and bye to Kayla a little bit here. If you look down, you'll see a brace on her knee. Kayla won't be playing again today. But Kayla, what are your plans after Notre Dame as far as soccer and schooling?
Well, I plan on going to IC, so Illinois College, and playing soccer, and I plan on majoring in psychology.
Oh, majoring in psychology. All right. Well, you've had a lot of weird, insane people around you for the last 4 years in the soccer program. No wonder. I want to understand what the PTSD you're going through right now.
But I still love them all, so.
Absolutely. Why wouldn't you? Okay. And playing soccer, you have any designs on being a coach then after that? You know, when you're in your 20s or in your 30s, I think you'd be a good one.
Designs on being a coach. Probably just giving your own team the determination to keep going, keep pushing, and working hard.
Okay. You've had one of the good things about soccer is that you have freshmen through seniors all involved in the same team like that. And as a senior now, you have a great chance to really influence the youngsters, the juniors, the sophomores, and the freshmen here. If you had to tell them something about when they were seniors, when they're coming up, what would you tell them not to rush through or not to avoid during their career?
Don't hate the bus rides. Those are probably the best times of your life. Those long nights, having fun, singing in the bus.
As uncomfortable as the buses are,
yeah.
those drives home from Danville and Champaign, embrace them. All right, well, thanks again. Congratulations on a terrific career. We look forward to following your career at Illinois College down there in Jacksonville. And thanks for talking with us.
Thank you.
Right, bye-bye.
Yeah, really quick. What? I can't.
All right, you're good to go. All right, we're here with our second senior of the night, the second of our, unfortunately, walking wounded of our terrific defensive back line, Lily Blackford here. Lily, we just want to say congratulations and thank you for your 4 years of effort here. What are your plans after Notre Dame?
Well, next year I'm headed to Carl Sandburg to play basketball, actually, and hopefully deciding between pre-law and exercise science. So.
Oh, it's quite a difference between those two.
Yeah.
What's gonna make the difference, you think?
Probably the schooling and the amount that I can handle. But exercise science is kind of where I'm leaning right now, so
okay.
We'll see.
When do you have to be on campus at Carl Sandburg to start?
Mid-August.
Mid-August,
so
not too bad.
Yeah.
You get a little bit of a
Still
break.
get a little bit of a summer, so I'm excited for that.
Kind of aware of what goes on at Sandburg because of Braden.
Yeah,
right?
Following in his footsteps,
he had
to
a
say
good
the
career
least.
there, too. All right, we were just talking to Kayla Piper, and we'd asked her about, what would you tell your youngster teammates about maybe what they're missing, maybe what they don't get quite yet about being a 4-year player in the Notre Dame program?
I would say enjoy every moment because it goes by very quick. It feels like I blinked and I'm here now, so it's really crazy to feel. But also to work hard and success will follow because that's always been something that I've found true to my heart to say, like, as long as you work hard, good things will happen. So continue that and just play Notre Dame soccer because that's going to get you far.
All right. Thank you so much for that. We thank you for all your efforts, 4 years here at Notre Dame and at everything, not just athletics, but academics and extracurriculars. And we look forward to following your career at Carl Sandburg and beyond.
Yeah.
All right. Bye-bye,
Thank
Lil.
you.
Congratulations. Bye-bye. All right, we're back here with our third senior, Caitlin Bentley, one of my former students. Lovely to see you, Caitlin. Congratulations. We just want to get a little bit of time with you to say congratulations for your efforts at the program here on senior night. 4-year player in the program, big contributor. What are your plans for academics and everything else after Notre Dame?
I am going to go to Marquette University, and I'm planning on studying computer engineering, and I'm also going to continue like my graphic and art side. I'm going to minor in graphic design.
Oh, excellent. I was going to ask about your arts. You're winning awards here as a senior in the senior art show. Your stuff was great. I went to Marquette, by the way. Studied not computer design by any stretch of the imagination. They didn't let me near the computer lab. Actually, so long ago they didn't have a computer lab at Notre Dame. Like that. All right, you've been a 4-year participant in the program here. What would you say to the freshmen and sophomores, even the juniors that aren't yet 4-year, about what to take away from this special program?
I would say that throughout my 4 years, we've just become really close no matter what year you are. I'm super close with the freshmen as well as the seniors. And with not having a season last year, we're just trying to make the most of it. And I want them to make the most of like their 4 years or their 2 years or however many years they have left, because you never know if it's going to be taken away from you like it was for us.
All right, when you guys are re-listening to this broadcast, re-watching this broadcast, sage advice from senior Caitlin Bentley, who is going on to Marquette and going to do great things. Thank you for your 4 years of service in Notre Dame and extracurriculars and academics and, of course, soccer. And we look forward to finding out what you're doing, the great things you're doing after you leave here. Congratulations, Caitlin.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Here with our fourth senior, Celine Schick, a 4-year player in the Notre Dame girls varsity program here. Celine, we just wanted to say hi and congratulations and bye, unfortunately, to all of our seniors. What are your plans after leaving Notre Dame?
I'm planning on to attend Illinois State and studying exercise science.
All right, that's our second exercise science person. Lily Blackford is thinking of doing that. All right, as a 4-year person in this program, one of the good things about our program here is that we have all the way from freshmen to seniors all mixed in together, like here. What do you think the freshmen and sophomores don't quite understand, or maybe you don't want them to miss by the time they're seniors about the program?
Honestly, my 4 years, obviously my junior year I missed a season, which was very heartbreaking. It was honestly going to be a great season. I mean, every season was a great season these years. I just want them to know how important this program is, because we've been really good the past years and I loved it, and that's honestly just cherish every moment, because you never know what's going to happen.
All right. Excellent advice from a wizened veteran here at the age of 18, Celine Schick. Celine, we just want to again say congratulations and thank you for all your efforts at Notre Dame in academics, extracurricular, and at the here at the soccer pitch. And we look forward to seeing all the great things you're going to do after your high school career.
All right, thank you.
All right, congratulations again. Bye-bye.
Should we wait for the four of them to get back so the whole team's here? Should I wait for the four of them to get back? Okay, that's fine. Ellie. Yo, why? Probably half time, maybe. We only have three more, we only have three more. We got to do four. Tell her to cut across the field, for God's sakes. I want to get your headphones. Can we stand? Nobody but parents, grandparents, and the odd stalker. All right, we got everybody here? All right. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the 2021 edition of Peoria Notre Dame Girls Soccer Senior Night. At this point in time, we'd like to introduce the seniors and their parents and congratulate them for their efforts. Our first seniors, number 3, Caitlin Bentley. She's the daughter of Chad and Lorraine Bentley. Caitlin plays midfield for the Irish and plans to attend Marquette University this fall to study computer engineering and graphic design. Attacking midfield for the Irish. Keegan will attend Illinois Wesleyan University in the fall to explore her academic interests and play soccer. In the fall, where she plans to play basketball and pursue her degree. Our next senior, number 7, Abby Soka. She's the daughter of Kevin and Kate Soka and is our Irish center back. Abby will attend the University of Cincinnati this fall to study nursing. college and play soccer. She's undecided where she's getting her master's. I had to re-put in the key.
All right, hello, Peoria Notre Dame Lady Irish soccer fans. Sorry for a little bit of delay there. We're having some problems. Got a little bit more heat and humidity than we're used to, and a little more wind than we're used to, and some gremlins in the wire here. I am Rob Kenny. I'm here with Matt Blackford. I'm proud to present you senior night, and your Lady Irish playing our fellow Big 12 members, Peoria High. Game has just started. We're about a minute and a half or so into it. 0-0. The Irish have had, of course, the run of play here. Matt, the Irish bounced back from a disappointing loss to Dunlap with an excellent victory down at Springfield Sacred Heart Griffin.
Yeah, they really did. They played well last night. You know, from what I saw, I didn't get to see very much of it, but you know, we're able to kind of play their style, knock the ball around, got the ball wide, had some great services, and scored some nice goals. So hopefully that will carry over tonight. And already the like you were saying, Notre Dame's controlled this this first couple minutes of this match already. You know, I think we've had 3 or 4 shots, a couple on frame already, and
yeah, been a nice save by the central goal. And Caitlin Bentley senior Caitlin Bentley just snapped off a nice right-footed shot. Yeah,
a nice save on Scurry there. We had a nice service into the area, and she had a one-timer that just right at the keeper, and she was able to hold on to it, not spill it, and you know, doing a nice job.
Celine Schick wins that 50-50 ball. Celine cracks off another one. Goalie stays behind it, makes about her second or third save of the game already. She's making an early man of the match march here.
She will be, she's going to earn her money tonight.
She's going to have some sore forearms.
Nice move there by Bentley. Right-footed shot blasted by the
Caitlin
keeper.
Blixman, just exact of her first shot, except she kept this one down, leaned over it a little bit more, and stuck it right into the back of the net. 1-0 Irish.
A nice little senior night there for Caitlin there to get a goal, and really did a nice job of settling that ball, getting in the area, and just blasting one by the keeper.
Caitlin's going to Marquette University when she's done with her Notre Dame career to undo the damage I did when I was at Marquette University after my Spalding career. Still a little salty about it up there.
They still are asking our kids about you. Like, are you going to behave like this guy? Because if so, we may not admit you.
The good news is she's in the computer engineering program and computer design, and I never got near the computer building.
They didn't have computers back then.
They did not have computers back then, but
they did, but they were the size of a building.
They were literally in the basement of the. They took up the entire basement of the library. Spent 4 years of trying to make that darn snowflake. A lot of ones and zeros. All right, the Irish again are on the front foot here.
There's a switch there in the back by the Irish, bringing it back, and nice little piece of footwork there by Schick.
Yeah, Celine's gotten more and more playing time as the season's gone on. She's really been a difference maker, I think, out there. Her speed, her aggressiveness, especially when she's been playing on the left like she is today.
Yeah, I think the nice thing about nice ball. Oh, great finish.
Oh,
great finish. Great ball.
Tremendous technical finish with her left foot by Lauren Scurry, getting on a very nice cross. I'm sorry I didn't see where the cross came in from.
I think Bentley.
Was it Caitlin?
Yeah,
all right.
Yeah, Bentley had that as well.
All over the points board
she's
here.
She's in the column tonight for sure.
She absolutely is getting her name in the paper tonight. All right, 2-0 for the Irish here. A little less than 4 minutes into the game. Lauren will be going to University of Illinois following a long line of scurries. They went to Illinois, I think, like that. Going to become a nurse. She will be a good one. I am sure that she will find herself coaching soccer in the not-too-distant future, too. She is a born coach. Somebody in the family has to, my brother Dave says.
Nice run here by Abby Soka there to get kind of into the mix, overlap to the outside. Good left-footed service.
Abby getting some. Tegan Tierman puts that
Yes.
right over. It's a good job by Abby Soka coming up from her normal defensive position. They got her playing some midfield.
Yeah, she did that was a nice overlapping run, and really got out there and Good left-footed service, and Teagan just hammered one, but just a little high. We're going to have our first sub here for Central tonight.
Central has a fairly short bench over here. Looks like they got 3 subs. We do have a bit of wind here, like normal, blowing. Well, it's at the Irish's back for this half.
It'll be there for the rest of this game for sure.
Yeah, sun's not going to go down because it's a 5 o'clock start.
Usually when the sun sets here, the wind settles with it as well, and that will not happen tonight. Ooh, nice little ball there.
Celine Schick just couldn't quite get on it. So he kind of had the holder run up there.
Yeah, Notre Dame, kind of people in some different spots on senior night, but still doing a nice job of holding on to it and mixing it and possessing and getting service, and I'm sure we're going to see if they continue to do that. We're going to see a lot of goal scoring tonight. A little 1-2 action there between Scurry and Schick. Great shot, great save by the keeper.
Another save by the keeper, Celine, with a nice left-footed shot there from about 8 yards out. As a former coach, you had a tough game with SHG last night. You got a couple probably going to be more tight contests coming up tomorrow and Saturday for the Irish. Got Geneseo, I know, on Saturday. I can't remember. I think we have one of the Champaign schools tomorrow. Did you appreciate a game like this? Not to disrespect anybody, but this should be a bit softer game.
Yeah, I don't know if you necessarily, if I would say I'd ever appreciated it. I always felt like, there's some things you're going to have to really work on the next night after you play a big game the night before. That turnaround time of less than 24 hours is difficult on the legs.
Very quick.
That's partly why we're seeing a little bit of a different lineup too. Great ball. But I think what it does for you is if you've had a chance to sit down and look at film from the previous night, then you can hopefully address that with the team and work on those things in a game like you're playing tonight. So I'm sure that's what Coach Ralph has done. And but at the same time, you want to get people in and out and keep legs fresh. I mean, I think that we've got Champaign Central tomorrow night, and then Geneseo on Saturday morning.
Sure, yeah, we play at 10 o'clock.
And that game is,
very quick turnaround.
Yeah, that the hard thing with great finishes by Teagan
Tyrion with her left foot.
That game that one's, I don't want to say scares me a little bit, but I'm trying to really get focused for that game, because that's a game where we've seen that team numerous times in sectional championships. I'm not quite sure where they're at this year in terms of strength of schedule or how good their team is, but it'll be an emotional game. It'll be a somewhat of a rivalry game because I think they understand, that, well, they beat us in the past, so they understand they can do that, and they're going to want to come in here and they're going to give you your best game, and so you better be ready to go on Saturday morning. And that, what is it, 10 a.m. kickoff?
10 a.m. for the varsity, yep.
That's a tough one,
after a Friday night game.
You play Friday night, you turn around. We're not used to playing early on Saturday morning either, so that always made me a little weary as well when you have a weird scheduling like that, especially if you go to a tournament or something. But, you got to do it. They got to do it. You got to do it. They got to get up earlier to stink and drive.
Yeah.
So
they got over an hour and a half plus right down.
Yeah, it's not a fun drive from Geneseo to Peoria, Peoria to Geneseo. Come on, get on the end of that.
All right, the Irish up 3-0 here. A little over 32 minutes left here in the first half. This beautiful senior night. The Irish facing the Peoria High Lions.
Field looks wonderful.
Yes, it does, after all the rain we got.
It's unbelievable how much water this thing has taken, and to look like it does is wonderful.
I'm sure the wind helped dry it off a little bit. You can see a few brown spots, but they won't be there by Saturday morning. We're not supposed to have any rain, I don't think, the rest of the home schedule. We know how accurate weather forecasts are, so I'm sure that'll turn out to be true.
Yeah, I think anytime you get in the weather like this, it starts to heat up a little bit, and you're a little bit leery of maybe some storms popping up. But you know, for the most part, I think you're right. I think we're going to see good weather. We're going to get some wind, and it's going to warm up. And I think that's another thing that you haven't experienced yet either. These girls haven't experienced that heat. If anything, we've experienced, you know, some unseasonably cold weather for a spring, I think. And so, you know, it's going to be very, very important that they are doing a ton of hydrating, that they are getting rest, that they're acclimating to the heat as best they can, because it'll be difficult. 10 a.m. on a Saturday morning in a very contested game, you know, that'll be something that they haven't experienced yet.
When you've played in a hot, humid environment the night before, humidity will be the thing.
And I'm sure it wasn't cool last night at SHG on the turf, and it's always, you know, you can always add 10 degrees when you're on the turf.
Yeah.
So I'm sure they're tired. I'm sure the legs are heavy today, and you can kind of see it a little bit in them. You know, there's really not that, you know, not to be. I don't want to be too. I don't want to criticize too much, but you can see there's some heavy legs out there, and there's some little bit more standing and a few extra touches and whatnot. But
a little bit station to station.
Great ball.
Great job by Celine Schick.
Bentley's in on it again, man. She, like you were saying, she is in the score box today for sure. Really doing a nice job of being in the right place at the right time.
All right, it was a senior-to-senior matchup. Celine Schick slid that ball across with her left foot about 3 yards out. Too far out for the goalie to make a play on it, but not too far out for Caitlin Bentley to stream onto it. Bury it. 4-0 now.
4-0, and you know we're starting to see some subbing here from the Irish. I think we see a couple seniors coming off. From Tegan Timmerman's coming off, and Lauren Scurry is coming off, and you know, probably nice to get them to the sideline and rest them up. And I wouldn't be afraid to tell them to take their boots off and get ice going at this point.
That's ice for their limbs, not ice cream for their stomachs. We want to make sure.
Ice cream's later.
Girls,
game has to be
get
over
into the
before we
car.
get the ice cream.
Get into the car and head across the street to the ice cream place. Mr. Blackford told me I could.
I told them they could show up, and I told them you charge it to Rob Kenny's account over there at the Spotted Cow.
Absolutely. They haven't been able to find me yet. I don't see why they're going to start now. All right, the Irish playing the ball out here, midfield. We have Lucy Burkett and Maya Wardle came into the game. Get their touches in.
Ooh, oh, heck of a shot there.
Heck of a shot. The goalie was unafraid to stay here, keep her body in front of it.
That ball came out hot.
That was Abby Soko. Yeah.
Abby hits some balls that have some pace on them.
Yeah, I know the wind was at her back, but it wasn't at her back that much.
Nice play there by Burkett. Oh, good layoff to Bear. Bear with a blast and a
puts
goal.
One and sneaks it into the left post.
Finally, someone in the Bear family that can score. I know her dad was a pretty good defender, but I don't think he had the ability to score like that one does.
I'm sure he didn't. All right,
well finished there. You know, really
it was.
Settled it, looked up, went to the corner. I mean, that was textbook right there.
We have Sammy Lard, I think, coming into the game, number 14. Caitlin Bentley and Kayla Carew coming out.
Nice interception there by Bear.
It's back right now.
All right, we apologize if our broadcast is coming in and out, because it's coming in and out for us too. Is Claire Gerard just back into the game? You haven't missed anything. It's still 5-0 Irish. About 28 minutes to go. It's 6-0 now. Ball was thrown in by Ellen Dahlquist out there near the edge of the 18-yard box. Put it in under the bar, but over the goalie.
Yeah, there's a way to whip those balls in there. I mean, I always, you know, anything you can whip in like that is dangerous. And
anything on frame is a good shot.
Really nice job here so far by the Irish. They can really control everything so far, and up 6-0 here as we.
Jane Gears and Jenna Horse into the game. We do have to make an apology during the Dunlap game. Jane Gears was not here. Her number 19 was being worn by Miss Lawless from the sophomore JV squad, and she played really well because Jane played really well in our minds, and it was Lawless from the JV squad who played up. So we apologize to her, but we thank her for playing so well that we mentioned we got her name wrong every time. Oh!
Shot by Burkett there. Just
handcuffed the goalie.
Yeah, gets through
turned her
little
around.
Knuckle on it. And got her handcuffed and off her chest and bounced backwards and into the net.
Yep, across the goal line. 7-0 Irish.
One thing I'm noticing here is, and I think this is something that we constantly talk about, but our shape is just, we need to be wider. Especially in a game like this. We need to spread them out. We need to let the ball do the work, and this is really a good time to work on those types of things. Getting your outside players wide and getting people forward and having good spacing and having some good depth between your midfielders and your forwards and in between your defenders and midfielders, and we're just so bunched. I mean, look at us right now. We're wasting 30 some yards out here.
Jenna Horst now is out as wide as you can be.
Yep.
Making a run towards the near post. Oh, made a nice sight-footed attempt there to get it to the top of the box. Earn the Irish their first corner of the game. See who's going to take this. I don't think Kaylee's in the game. We're going to have Ellie Bear take it.
Yeah, Bear will be on this one. See if we can whip one in here. I'd like to. Yep, not playing short, so that's in my mind a positive.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's see if we can hold some shape, get some runners to the post, get some runners to the penalty spot.
Ellie throws a nice, nice ball can't bounce.
Man, we got to go win that ball right there.
Nice ball by Bear.
Yeah, that was a nice ball.
Dropped in at the far
Good
post.
service there. I think that was Maya.
Ball just goes wide to
So
the
we're gonna
right
get
post.
Another corner out of that one. I think that was deflected wide.
Okay. Let's see if Ellie Bear is going to get her steps in on corner alone.
You need to be a little more brave here. Somebody's got to go up and win a ball. Get a little glory. Go up, win one with your head. Put it in the back of the net here.
Right, in swinger for Bear last time. Should do an out swinger here. Throws up another fine service.
Good ball.
Right about at the
well
12-yard
done.
spot. Somebody did get their head on it.
It looked like Abby got on the end of that Soka. That was nice. One up and one in. And we got to do more of that, but we got to have better shape. I mean, right now we should be getting to our spots, getting wide. Maybe pinched a little bit here defensively, but as soon as we win the ball, we need to get wide. We need to get the ball to flanks. Work on service. Work on some one-time shots in the area. Work on hitting balls from outside. Bringing the ball back here. This is smart by Bear to bring it back. I would have liked to see that come all the way back here. There's just Abby's through. Soka, well finished.
Soka puts one through.
Good night for Abby. That's awesome.
Good
Very happy.
Throws her
Good
hands
for
in
her.
the air.
It's funny because you watch a defender score and it's like, hey man, I'm excited. I don't get to do this very often. That's awesome. I love it.
Goes back. Tells her forwards. See how easy that is?
Guys,
you just tuck it inside. All right.
I just did what Coach said. I just kept my head up and I picked a corner and I just laid it in.
Why don't you listen to coaches the way I do?
We'd score more goals.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna go back and play defense now. All right, 8-0.
I'm good.
All right, we by acclamation of the coaches and the officials, we're going to have the clock running now for the rest of the first half, and then I believe it will shorten the second half. Then still.
Yep. Yeah.
20 minutes all running clock.
20 minutes all running clock.
running in the second half.
Ambulance will stop you for that.
Okay.
I think I should be okay. I should be able to get down the steps.
I don't think he meant for you.
Oh, okay.
If it's for you, we're going to keep running.
Sure.
I think she's, that little run there, a little offsides there.
All right, So the last 25 minutes will tick off in real time, barring injuries, yellow cards.
Ambulances.
Ambulances, yeah. Other people ignoring my pain, apparently.
We got doctor's office right behind us here. We'll take you over to.
Sure, they'll be
What do we
happy,
got over here?
happy to make an appointment and see me in 2 weeks.
You know, as long as you need to get your wisdom teeth out, you'll be all right.
Well, there's some physical therapy for women, too.
You'll be okay.
Yeah, it'd be fine. I'm probably not tough enough to put up with that, to be honest with you. Celine Schick taking it down here, running down the left side. This ball in. Throws a shot, stopped nicely by the goalie.
Yeah.
She got down behind that one nicely. None of these 8 goals have been her fault. Maybe the one that sort of handcuffed her, but the rest are.
Yeah, well-placed shots.
Yeah, well-placed shots. And
that's what happens when you let defenders score. As an ex-defender, you know, you let us get up there, we're going to show you how to do it. We're trying to stop it all the time. Play the way you're facing it. There you go. I like that. Bring it around the back. Now we're talking. Now we're playing soccer. Bring it over here. Over here. Over here. Well, we're going to jam it up the middle.
yeah, throw a direct ball.
Yeah, I'd really like to see us knock the ball around a little bit, work on playing. I wouldn't call it keep away, but let's possess as much as we can and not give it away. And, you know, if we can work it up and get shots, then let's do that, you know. Man, she keeps that ball on a string.
She does.
Well done.
Celine Schick taking a service there from, I think it was Sammy Lard on the left side. So Celine has an assist on the goal here on her senior night. Unlike me, she will only have one senior night. You know, just keep her calling me back and realizing, weren't you here last year?
Looks like Celine's a little. Yeah, they're going to take her off.
Came up with a little.
Nice to get some other kids in there to get some PT tonight.
Yeah, Abby Soka coming off.
Get some guys some.
Abby's going to huddle with her strikers. Just outline
fellow
what
strikers.
she did. Yeah, outline what she did.
Somebody get her a whiteboard.
I would play the ball all the way back there to Addie Jeanette.
Yeah,
something you were asking for.
Yeah. It's okay to, you know, we don't have to go forward. You know, we can possess through, you know, work on some things. Let's like work on possessing through the midfield and, you know, holding on to it a little bit and, you know, not giving it away. Like right there, you know, you can set up some standards for your team in terms of not giving the ball away. And
yeah, keep the ball on the ground.
Yep.
Those passes 3 feet in the air that put the receiver of the pass in an awkward position.
You know, how many times can you change the point of attack? How many times can you swing it around the back? How many times can you swing it through your midfield? You know, those are some things that we can be working on right here. And, you know, holding on to it is just the biggest thing. I mean, because you're going to get into some games where it's going to be tight. And I think we saw that when the last home game against Dunlap. There's some really tight spaces out there.
Yes.
And both teams did relatively well. I felt like Notre Dame did a better job of kind of holding on to it in those spaces where Dunlap was pretty direct.
Yeah. Yeah, Dunlap was looking for
and I felt like
Sutter over the top most of the time.
Yeah, you know, I feel like.
And why wouldn't you?
We've got to be, I don't want to say we have to be like that, but I feel like we need to be able to send some numbers forward and maybe at times go with like a 4-4-2 in a situation like that where you've got more attackers who can get in the area and you're going to have more chances to score. I mean, because as the tournament starts up, I mean, it's going to be a matter of can we outscore people? You know, I mean, I feel very comfortable with our back line. I feel very comfortable with our goalkeeper situation. You know, I think you can. I think you have the ability to gamble a little bit and send numbers forward because you've got good kids that are hard workers, and they'll get behind the ball when they lose it, and I think you'll do well to kind of every once in a while, you know, switch it up a little bit. I mean, we've been primarily a 4-3-3 team all season, and that's what everybody thinks we're going to be. I think now is when you start adding some 4-4-2 and, you know, switch up how your forwards look and get some people to come and attack with them. You know, I mean, putting 2 attacking midfielders in the middle and telling them, go. I don't need a holding midfielder right here. I got 4 studs in the back, and I got a good goalkeeper who's good with her feet. There's no reason why, we can't put numbers forward in the box, especially when you got people like Maya playing maybe in a forward spot up there who's going to win everything out wide and then get service and get people in the area with her, and let's score 4 or 5 goals a game and move on,
I mean, Tegan and Casey, we have attacking midfielders. We have people who can absolutely do what you're talking about.
Yeah, and I think that's part of our, I think at times I think our midfield is so worried about holding on to possession and kind of defending that we're not getting numbers forward. How many times have we seen Maya get forward in games and no one's with her but one person,
Had no options.
And we need to see 3-4 people in the box when she gets forward or when Burkett gets forward, But part of that, too, is we don't stay wide enough, so we don't give ourselves a chance. So those are some things that they really need to work on as the season progresses here and as we get ready for the tournament. But you got to come up with some things in terms of don't be predictable right now. You can be really predictable within yourself. That's fine. We all want to know what we're doing, and we all want to know what we're going to do with the ball when we get it. But don't be predictable to your opponent at this point of the season. So, that would be my advice as we kind of move forward.
Yeah, don't make yourself easy to scout.
Yeah, right now, I'll be honest, we're easy to scout. We're real easy to scout because we're putting everything out there for everybody to watch because we want, our kids' grandparents to see the games, and, we want, parents that are out of town to see the games, and we're doing that. And that kind of started with COVID, but I think it's something that at Notre Dame we want to use that that's something that's cool here, Come to Notre Dame and play soccer, football, or whatever, or basketball. We're talking about, we had a meeting the other day, we're going to start adding stuff as, next year, like some post-game stuff, some interviewing, and, things that, so for people to see with the coaches and the players and, stuff like that as we kind of take this thing and take it to the next level, But, we're kind of, anybody can find anything right now in terms of video on any team. With the Cube and NFHS and YouTube. You're going to be easily recruited, easily scouted. So let's do something they haven't seen, and make them prepare for that as well. Some of the teams you're going to play, you've already played once.
Yeah.
And believe me, you're going to see Morton possibly again. You're going to possibly see Dunlap again. Very, very likely you're going to see one of those teams.
Geneseo.
Geneseo. Yep. You've got to be able to come in and play a game, and they go, whoa, what's going on here? Why they got 2 forwards? They had 3 forwards before. Oh man, now they got 6 attacking instead of 3. That's hard to. As an ex-women's soccer coach, when you go against a team that has mixed it up completely, you don't have any timeouts.
Yep.
You don't get to call the team over and say, hey, guys, they're in a 4-4-2 now. We got to figure this out. No, you've got to figure it out on the fly, and that means subbing, and sometimes you got to, put you in a bad spot if you're not deep on the bench.
Yeah. When you're making them worry about how you're playing, and then they stop thinking about how they're playing.
Yeah, you want to impose your will and your style upon the other
Absolutely.
team. And if they know what you're doing all the time, it's hard to impose that. And we've got the personnel to do it. We got smart soccer players. We've got kids that are going to work really hard. You've got, I always talk about like that bird dog attitude. You got to have kids that are bird dogs, man. They'll just hunt until they can't hunt no more. And that's what we have here. They will hunt until they can't hunt anymore. And they'll come over and they'll get some water, and then they'll go back and they'll hunt some more. So we've got it. We're going to put it in effect here.
So that's how you win sectional titles. That's how you win super sectional titles. That's how you win state titles. I do think we legitimately go 18, maybe even 20 deep with this team. Now, rotation maybe shrinks a little bit as the competition increases and the games get a little more, a little more tension filled. But I think we're 18 deep, no matter what level we're playing at.
Most definitely you are. And I think right now, everybody wants to talk about injuries, right? We've got 2 of our backliners that are out for an extended period of time. And some people say, well, that's just that hurts and that's hard. And you know what? Yeah, it hurts. It's hard. But the positive side of that is you got younger kids that are stepping up and they're playing well and they're getting thrown in the fire. And that's going to do nothing but be good for you if those kids do come back and are able to play. It just makes you that much deeper, and then gives you that much more confidence in those kids as the season progresses.
Yeah, it gives teammates confidence in them too.
Exactly.
You realize now that Ellen Dahlquist, is one of those who's not benefited, but it has been thrown into the breach because of the defensive injuries on the back line. Ellen has more than held her own.
Oh yeah, you got her. You got Gears. You've got the girl that we talked about the other night.
Horst?
Yeah, that was wearing Gears jersey.
Oh, Lawless, yeah.
I mean, Lawless, yeah. So I mean, you got all these kids
Anonymous.
they're getting time and they're getting confidence. But I think what you kind of hit the nail on the head is like the other kids get confidence in them. You know what I mean? Because until you're proven in a match, it's hard to, because you can do things in practice, right? You think, so and so's pretty good, but I still don't really trust her yet until I get into a tough match, right?
Yeah.
Well,
making decisions.
We've put them in those situations now, so now you've got a team that's looking at each other like, I trust you, and when you trust one another, man, the sky's the limit.
Yep. It's kind of a cliche to say there are no freshmen or sophomores even, by the end of a season, but it's true. It's true. You've been out there. You've been playing with our juniors. You've been playing with the seniors. Like that, you're not considered a freshman. If you consider yourself still a freshman, you wouldn't be out there playing.
Yeah, and I think you see it more on the girls' side than the boys' side. But girls just have a tendency to come to high school a little more mature physically than their counterparts of boys. Boys are going to take a couple years to get to where to play that varsity level usually. But girls can come in and they can be ready to go physically.
Yep.
And honestly mentally too. They're just.
I wasn't going to say emotionally and mentally,
they
but
are. I mean, they have that ability. They're kind of. I don't want to say they're smarter, but they retain a little better than the boys do at times. And physically, you can have a 14-year-old girl that's going to match up well with an 18-year-old girl. A lot of times because they might be done growing by that time.
Yeah.
It's very feasible that you have a 4-year starter here at a place like Notre Dame. And we've seen that. I mean, we've seen 4-year starters here, and and some of them are all staters for 2 or 3 years.
Yep.
I mean, it's really exciting when you see stuff like that. And we've had, I think back on some of Rachel Blakesley that played at Iowa and Sam Cohen that went and played at Aurora. Those kids were just all staters for at least 2 years and played for us for 4 years. And
Mills was that way?
Mills was that way as well.
Maddie too, probably.
Maddie did too. So Elizabeth and Maddie both were that way. And you think back to some of the other like Sheely. Elizabeth Sheely was that way, and Slamba was that way. I mean, just kids that really were mature when they got here, and then got a little more mature, and they got in the weight room. That was a big thing too for the girls to get in the weight room and just get stronger, and they've done a nice job. So it's and, I mean, I look at this group out here right now, like girl with the ball right now, Sammy
Lard.
Lard. I'll tell you what, man, she's a good. I saw her play basketball this winter. I think she plays volleyball too.
Played volleyball too. Yeah.
I did not see her play volleyball, but she's a good athlete, and she's a big, strong kid. And she's gonna, if she's gonna continue to play sports, and she's gonna get in the weight room, she's gonna get stronger. And she's somebody that I look at and go, you know what? It'll be interesting to see where 3 years from now when she's a senior, who's recruiting her and for what sport.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, there's going to be Bridget Schuler, so the obvious one we haven't mentioned, probably the most recent one.
Yeah.
Division I scholarships in volleyball and soccer.
Yeah, and she's playing at Western.
She's playing at Western.
Just finished up, I think. And
I think she's going to take her extra year, actually.
Is she? Good for her.
I think so.
I'm glad.
I think that's what Coach Ralph told me. Bridget, if you're listening, or Molly, if you're listening and that's wrong, I'm sorry. Blame it on Coach Bear, though. Or on Coach Ralph. You can blame it on Coach Bear, too, if you want to. Yeah.
And Bridget is a great example of that. I mean,
She
she came in as a freshman, and it was like, holy moly, she's faster than everybody, And
she was.
And stayed that fast for 4 years.
Yeah,
a lot of
she
times
did.
what you see with girls is they come in that fast. Juniors, they kind of lose a little bit of it just because they turn into women, and she didn't. She stayed fast, she stayed strong, and she was somebody that just was another kid that's an all-state type of kid, and that everybody sees her and knows where she's at on the field and is aware of her, and one of the top probably vote getters in the sectional when they went for all sectional, all-state stuff.
Oh, yeah. Had to be.
And there's a lot of girls out there like that right now. I mean, this team reminds me of that, that team, 2014, 2015, that got third place in state.
Yep.
And you know what? I'll be honest with you. I blame the coaching there. That was probably all my fault that we got third. but we had a chance, really to maybe be the winner there. We had a tough match with Chatham in that semifinal game, and we had played them tough earlier in the year, and just they got on the end of a couple and we didn't, and then we got into a heck of a fight in the third place game. And, I really believe it was just our pure, flat-out toughness and relentless ability of our kids is why we won that game. I mean, we were just tougher than they were. And I'm going to tell you what, they beat the living out of us all game.
Yep.
And we just stood up to it. They were a school that was about 2.5 times bigger than us.
Always is at that point of the sate finals. It always is.
And they were not going to let our skill beat them. And so they were going to beat on us. And I think probably about 70 minutes into the game, we scored, and then our kids were like, "Oh yeah, by the way, you're not gonna use any of your skill to beat us." And I mean, it was like a flat-out brawl, just of, "Hey, we're gonna have a foul here at midfield because you're not going further," and they would do the same thing to us. And then luckily, because they had some chances, and luckily it ran out. But our kids were just tough that game. I think we scored a PK. I can't remember if it was. Like Mills maybe Slomber or Mills scored it. I can't remember now, but one of them went up for a head ball in the box and had their tooth knocked out.
Oh.
And they were complaining. I remember that they're complaining that it shouldn't have been a PK. I'm like, my kid's tooth is broken in half.
Something happened. Well, how many times those teams, not just that year, but those teams of those ilk in your year, win the games in the last 10 minutes?
Yeah,
a lot.
Yep.
Or put the game away in the last 10 minutes. I mean, we always seemed to win the last 10 minutes.
Well, that's a majority of goals. I mean, I think I read a study one time from like the English Premier League that there was a certain percentage, it was a huge percentage of goals are scored in the last 10 minutes of each half. But that's when people get tired, and that's when you get a little lazy, and that's when you make some mistakes, and things happen. So, well, I always say if I'm going to turn a game on and I see that there's like 15 minutes, I'm watching this because I'm probably going to see something exciting.
Yeah. All right, 8 minutes to go here. Running clock in the first half because of the 9-0 score. That is by agreement between the officials and the coaches of both squads, Peoria Notre Dame and Peoria High. We will have the shortened 20-minute running clock for the second half. Irish have been knocking the ball around here. Hope the video has been coming through, and not just the audio.
We got a couple of magicians working on it, so
they're applying new Scotch tape and gum to the fittings there.
I'm all out of gum. I don't know how many pieces of gum they've asked out of my mouth every time I put a new one in. Now they want the foil, but apparently what they're doing is working.
Tell you what, they're not getting the cartoons from my bazooka, though. Not giving up my cartoons. Man can only take so much.
It's a good thing I came with 2 paper clips in my pocket.
That's right. You don't mind to find someone in the crowd with braces and have them hang on to one of the paper clips.
Brian MacGyver Simmons.
He'd have been coming very handy in the old age of the rabbit ear antennas. Sent him up to the top of the roof.
I think Mike is up there standing on the railing right now with his hands in the air.
2 coat hangers and a belt buckle.
So anything we can do to get it to you out there, people. So make sure when you see Coach Bear around school or around town, you thank him for, we don't even have a harness for him up there.
That's right.
We'll have to ask boosters for a harness.
If anyone from OSHA is watching, we're just kidding, of course. You don't need the black helicopters to land on the field later on. Shut the place down. That's right, yeah. All right, 6 minutes to go. Jenna Horse throwing it across the top of the D. Cut out by the central defender. Actually did a very nice job there.
It's probably time that we need to probably start working on a little one-touch, getting your head up, seeing what you want to do with the ball before you get it, and working on some stuff like there. That's really...
Don't want to get used to having this amount of time and space on the ball.
Knock it around a little bit. Get your depth, get your width. Yes, yeah, I like just let's play quick here. Let's just knock it around. Know where you're going with it before you get it. You know, the old.
Yeah, it's a cliche, but it's because it's true.
That's probably the hardest thing to do. I mean, that's the hardest. I always felt like the hardest thing to train, you know, these young ladies to do is just, you know what you're going to do with the ball before you get it, because it's hard.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, yeah, it is.
All of a sudden, if you don't have your head up, and all of a sudden somebody's on you, and you thought you could go one direction, you got to turn and go the other way. And but this is a perfect time to kind of work on those things.
We have Ellen Dahlquist now marshaling the center of the defense. Natalie Ivy out here on the left. It's like Maya Wardle still out on the right. Lucy Burkett plays the square ball out. Throw in for Central, far side. It's exhausting for the defense to chase like this in the game too. They only have 14 people on the squad, so a bench of 3.
It's frustrating.
Frustrating, sure. And yeah, when you don't get the adrenaline jolt of making a run on offense and you know, changing the scope of the game, it is wearing on you.
You know, that's one of the things that, you know, we always talked about was if we can possess and not let the other team have it, especially in a game where, you know, it's going to be tight.
Yeah.
And you know, it's you know, a sectional type game. If you can hold on to a majority of, you know, of the possession, and I'm talking like 70% of it, man, it takes your will.
Yeah.
You know, and if you can break a team's will, especially in the game of soccer, man, it's so hard to get up to play it, because it can be so just physically exhausting when you can't get a hold of the ball. When you do get a hold of the ball, if you get a couple bad bounces, it just wears on you, not only physically but mentally. You know, and I think that you know, we talked a lot about just impose our style upon people, yeah. and just, you know, you have to try to you want to win every statistical category, you know, shots, corner kicks, fouls, you know, and people always think I'm crazy when I say we need to out-foul people. I'm like, you got to out-foul people. If you don't out-foul people, you're not playing harder than they are.
Yeah.
You know, we're not trying to be dirty. We just want to, you know, try to win every 50-50 ball. And when you try to win every 50-50 ball, you're going to get the whistle blown against you every once in a while.
Yeah.
So, you know, when you can win all those statistical categories, and you look at that after the game, that was the first thing we always looked at when with the team was like, okay, well, how do we do in terms of corner kicks? How do we do in terms of fouls? How do we do in terms of shots? You know, early corner kicks. Can you get an early corner kick in the first, you know, 3 minutes of the game? Because if you can get an early corner kick in the first 3 minutes of the game, you've put a lot of pressure on them initially. You've put them under some duress, and you've getting a chance right away on a set piece that, you know, you practice a lot. I mean, we spent a tremendous amount of time on set pieces. And I learned that from Danny Driscoll. You know, like, if you don't spend a ton of time on set pieces and get really good at them amongst yourselves in practice, you'll never score.
Yeah. You're counting on a lucky bounce otherwise.
Yeah, and I mean, we always used to talk about, hey, if we can score on like 10 to 15% of our set pieces, and we get 10, we're going to get 1 goal. Yeah. You know, every game on a set piece. And if you get even a little higher than that in terms of percentages, now all of a sudden you get 20% of them, and now you get 5 and you get 1. You know, so just be good at them, and that's what you have to do. And then also the other big thing is PKs. This time of year now, you got to start start worrying about PKs right now. You know, you start practicing them after practice, because, you know, you get into the tournament, and after so many overtimes, they go to PKs, and you better be able to score them, and you better have you know. Really, you better have 10 people that you trust, because it's probably going to go 2 rounds a lot of times.
10 people that are confident to take them.
That's the biggest thing. You want somebody who's going to step up and just win it. And people always used to be, when I was coaching, I would never tell anybody to take a PK if it happened in the flow of the game. You know, I just would sit there and
ball?
Exactly. Who's going to walk up and grab that ball? And that's who's taking it. She's taking it because she wants it. You know, I'm not going to assign it to anybody. 9 times out of 10, it was a girl that already had 40 goals on the year. There's a reason why she has 40 goals.
Yeah. Well, usually there are only 10. There was 9 other girls out there really relieved that she picked it up.
Exactly. Oh, please don't let this.
Please don't let it be me.
Sam Cohen's taking it? Okay, that's fine.
All right, that's the end of the first half. Irish are up 9-0 here on senior night against Peoria High. We're going to have a little break at halftime and maybe try to fix our problems here. Get some more gum from the concession stand, and we'll come back for a running clock, 20-minute running clock for the second half of the game. All right, we'll see you then. Bye-bye. Maybe up to Ben.
Oh, look at that camera work there on the ball. Brian MacGyver Simmons is on it tonight.
All right, welcome back, Irish fans. We'll have a 20-minute running clock here for the second half of this game between the Lady Irish and the Lady Lions of Peoria High. Irish are up 9-0. You not adjust your sets. It is 9-0 first half. Senior night here. We're sending our seniors. It's not out. We have plenty more soccer ahead, including a few more home games. But we're sending them off on senior night at least. In good fashion.
Big week here for the Irish. Big week.
A lot of soccer.
Last night at SHG, big 3-0 win, and tonight here with Peoria Central, we have we have Central from Champaign tomorrow night, which I will not be here. We have graduation, so
okay.
You're going to do color and play-by-play.
All right.
All right, I'll send you some notes.
I'll make all my mistakes on the color side. So
yeah.
I can blame them on you.
Like every night.
Like it.
And then what, Saturday morning, Geneseo?
Saturday morning, 10 a.m. game, bright and early, Geneseo.
Might be the JV. It says 11:30 for Varsity.
I think the first game is Varsity.
I thought the first game was Varsity,
Okay,
yeah.
that's okay. So
It is
when-
10 and 11:30, but I think we're rearranging them. Don't know if the Geneseo has to get back for
Not sure
something.
what's going on. If they got something with graduation or prom, who knows?
That would make sense.
All right, good ball out here to
That means more yard work. 'cause
Jane
I'm not
Gears.
sitting around for the 11 hour.
I have it on good authority that is Jane Gears this time instead of Miss Lawless. Again, we apologize for that.
Got Tegan in the back. You got Lauren in the back.
A couple of seniors in the back there. Tegan will be going to
Bentley's in the back.
Illinois Wesleyan University to continue her soccer career for the Titans
You got
down in Bloomington.
Celine's in the back as well.
And Caitlin Bentley in the back, too.
Just
So all
wide
senior
there.
back line. Tegan does not know what she's going to be doing yet for her further studies.
Politically correct. Undeclared.
Undeclared. Whatever it is, she'll be great at it.
Well, Lauren's going to go into nursing.
Nursing. Caitlin's going into computer design. Lily is physical science, exercise science, or pre-law, I think, is what she said.
Yeah, I think she plans on kind of.
Celine.
She talked about some maybe law enforcement or pre-law.
Celine, I think, is physical therapy, exercise science, too. Let's see what.
Soka.
Abby is going to do nursing at the University
Nice.
of Cincinnati. Going to be a Bearcat.
Nice, Bearcats.
That's right. And then Kayla Piper is going to do psychology and play soccer at Illinois College down in Jacksonville.
Little diamond in the rough down there. I don't know if you've ever been
Yeah.
down there, but boy, they've got some nice facilities. Really, in the last few years, have kind of really upped their.
They've upped their recruiting
Yeah.
and their presence here in Central Illinois, trying to attract kids, not just for sports, but for just the regular programs,
Yeah,
too.
there's a couple kids that I know of, not from Notre Dame, that went there, and
Yeah, we see
one of our coaches actually on the basketball side, Stephen Bradshaw, I think went to Illinois College and
There
played
you
soccer and basketball there.
There you go. You see them manning their tables in the cafeteria during college recruiting afternoons. We know that all the Irish senior women will go on to do great things. We will miss them, but we thank them for their service so far. And they're not done yet.
No, a lot of games left, and I think, for women's soccer players, the most exciting time of the year is coming up here.
Yeah.
Once regionals start, and then sectionals to follow, and if you're playing well enough and fortunate enough, hopefully you can get to a super sectional. And
Yeah,
then
I
get
think
to super sectional, who knows what happens.
All going to take place in June this year. I think our final regular season game is the Saturday morning of Memorial Day weekend. The seniors are going to be playing quite a few high school games after they're technically no longer in high school.
I think that's always the hardest part for any spring coach.
Yes.
Is when you've got a team that is pretty good and you can make a nice long run, and the hard part is keeping those kids focused. To continue to play, because sometimes once school's over, it's not necessarily here at Notre Dame, but I think sometimes at other schools. Once school's over, it's hard to keep those kids focused and to play. And
well, you don't have them under your thumb for 8 hours of the day from 7:30 to 3 or whatever it is. That's what it would be around here, 8 o'clock to 3:05.
It's hard to keep them focused. It's hard to keep them coming out every day. And some kids need to get a job too. I mean, it's hard. Seniors are going away. They're going to college, and
they're looking forward.
They've got jobs lined up, and they need to make a little money, and it's tough sometimes to keep them that way. I can remember my senior year playing baseball. I was working and coming and practicing because we got out so much earlier than everybody else, but it was I kind of enjoyed that. That was kind of fun.
Yeah, it almost felt like you're an adult.
Yeah,
practicing to be an adult.
Yeah,
you weren't. I guarantee you.
I still am not. Don't tell anybody.
I wasn't going to bring it up if you weren't, but now that it's out in the open, good time to have a therapy session, Matt. All right, the Irish. 16 minutes to go here, a running clock again because of a 9-0 Irish lead over the Lady Lions from Peoria High. The wind is down for the moment. It's a beautiful night here, though.
Yeah.
This is by far our warmest, sunniest soccer game of the women's season, at least.
I wasn't sure if we were going to see the sun ever again after a few of the days this week, but it's been a welcome sight, welcome warmth, and
looks like we're going to have some good weather.
Yeah,
hopefully.
I think we talked a little bit about this before, but now it's time to probably get some of these kids acclimated to this heat.
Yeah.
Get it in a little bit. And Saturday morning is going to be interesting to see how warm it is, and by the time we finish. And
I like what you said about when you're playing at an odd time, like a 10 a.m. game. My brother Dave here on the public address system always says anytime a basketball team is playing at 9 a.m. in the morning, things are going to be off. You're not going to get the game that you expected. The kids are out of their routine. It's just, it does screw with you. It seems like an easy excuse, and you can't use it as an excuse.
Well,
but the effect is real, I think.
I think we've seen a lot of that this year. I mean, not just in soccer, but also if you think back to the Big 12 basketball.
Yeah, exactly. It's anything we're
tournament.
About.
I think not to. I don't want to critique our guys, but I think Coach Locker would agree. It was hard to go play a 4:30 game on a Thursday.
Yeah,
back gym.
Never played. Yeah,
and expect that your kids are going to be as hyped about doing that as they would if you were playing at home, in front of some fans and they weren't letting anybody in. I mean, it's hard. That's difficult.
It is.
There's just that mental aspect of being ready to play at any given time, and I mean, easier said than done. I mean, I think as a coach, you're like, man, you should be ready to go at any time.
Yeah.
But you know what? It's not as easy. Sometimes coaches don't want to coach that time.
Coaches out of their routine too. Yep, you're absolutely. You don't want to get on a bus and take a 2-hour ride to Quincy for a 11 o'clock game.
Yeah, and you're getting kids out of school and everything else, and lunches are rushed. It becomes hard. And sometimes that's what determines who gets on to the next game, who handles that adversity the best,
Yeah.
And the other thing about this time too is I always would get nervous about when the seniors were done with classes, which our seniors are now. They're staying up late, they're getting up late, their routine has changed completely from when they eat breakfast to when they eat lunch, how they feel when they come to practice, how they feel when they play a game. So they used to hate me, but I used to make them get up and come eat breakfast with me, during the postseason, because I didn't want it to disrupt what we were doing. I wanted them up at the same time. They'd come in, we'd eat breakfast together. Then you can go home and take your nap or whatever you want to do. But I'll see you back here for practice, or I'll see you back here for the game tonight, but you're getting out of bed.
Yeah, we can get the blood flowing.
Yep.
Did you pay for breakfast?
I made them bring it.
Oh, okay. It's just a win-win for you.
Bring breakfast in, and it better be something good, or you don't get to play tonight.
That's right. Just being awake isn't enough.
Fortunate for them, I'm not a picky eater, so.
Fruit didn't have to be fresh.
No.
1 or 2 days old would be fine.
They didn't even need to bring fruit. I'm okay with donuts. And do as I say, not as I do, athletes.
Gluten-free all wheat donuts, by the way, everybody. Central coach continues to do a good job here of shuffling in the subs as much as he can, trying to give his girls as much of a break as he can. You had mentioned at halftime you liked what the Central coach was, what the Peoria High coach was saying to his girls. Elucidate a little bit on what he was saying to them.
Yeah, I mean, he definitely he's making some adjustments, and he wants to see them, work hard to, try to get a shutout here, but also he wanted to see them try to get forward in an attack, and was trying to keep his girls to stay a little bit higher. A situation just like that, a situation that happens if that girl's a little bit higher, Notre Dame's not allowed to, play that ball back like that. So he was trying to get maybe a little more depth out of them in terms of their spacing, and but yeah, I mean, it was he had the whiteboard out and they were going through it. And,
yeah, they were listening.
They were attentive, and I was appreciative of that. And I think sometimes you get in a situation like that, it's easy just to. I think Dave was talking about too with another coach that we talked about earlier from a different game and a different season, where a coach just kind of turtled up and didn't do anything with his team, and that's not happening here tonight.
No,
I mean,
no.
Central's coach is definitely trying to get his girls to do what Brett is trying to get his kids to play hard, and definitely managing the game in a positive way for his kids.
A very underclass laden team,
yeah.
So the girls were all of his players will benefit from that.
And I think I saw Brett right as the whistle blew. He kind of went out and had a conversation, I believe, with number 6, and you could tell that she was kind of upset about something, and he was just settling her down and trying to get her to relax. And that's a sign of a guy that really cares about his kids and cares about his program. So if Coach Dunphy's out there listening tonight, because I know he's had surgery on his knee, he can rest assured that his coaches are doing a nice job at Central.
Yeah. Good things will flow from that. Marish playing into the not necessarily the teeth of a wind here, but
who's playing wide right now and is doing a decent job is Rogers. She's staying wide, doing a decent job of kind of probably listening to what they want. And I mean, look at her right now; she's darn near to the touchline, and I mean now she is on the touchline. I mean that. And look at the space she has to she has her body open. She's looking at the field of play. Really a nice job there of getting wide and putting her back to the out of bounds and knowing when she receives a ball in an open position, she can go any direction she wants. That's a dangerous ball there. So I appreciate it. And the same here. I mean, Gears receiving the ball with receiving it with an open position, being able to see where she wants to play. When you're open like that and you're facing the field of play, you can go in 4 or 5 different directions, depending on where you take your first touch. But yeah, look out there again, nice and wide.
Yeah, room to run on her, room to look up before she throws in a left-footed cross at the top of the box.
You got to get on the end of that. I know I'm not giving her a pass for being short, Dahlquist. You got to go get on the end of that. I'm sure your dad would say the same thing. And your sister. Schick's just relentless.
She is.
I can hear Bentley calling for the ball out here to switch it, so I like that. Just hold on to it. Ball in the space. Keep coming this way. Bring it all the way back.
Ooh, nice ball.
Nice ball.
Very
Done
nice
it around
ball.
her right to her foot.
Casey throwing in, throws a cross through too many legs, lion legs there to get through. Let's see what number 12 there, center forward, can do here.
I tell you what, that's a little better there from Central. They had a little depth. They were able to find a midfielder out of the back, and that's some of the things that Brett was talking with them about at halftime. So I mean, I feel good for him in terms of that. I'd like to see us spread out. I mean, we're just like right on top of one another. We're making 2 and 3 yard passes, and it's like we should be making 15, 20 yard passes. Bentley needs to get wider.
The wind playing havoc with
Yeah.
Casey's perception of that ball, I think.
I was sure that was going to go out. I'm out to go hard.
Made the mistake of saying the wind had laid down a little bit. Sorry about that, guys.
Picked right back up.
Yeah,
didn't it?
it's my fault.
Well, at least it's a nice hot breeze.
Yeah.
So that's nice.
That's
Blowing tropical right out of the south.
at the 5.5 minute mark here. 20-minute running clock. Reminder, due to a 9-0 score. That's what the score was at halftime. Irish are playing a possession game here.
Really a great night for senior night, though. I mean, there really are
Yeah.
really 7 seniors, and you know that's really a pretty good number of seniors. I think maybe some people would say, well, that's not very many, but I think in girls soccer, when and you got 7 seniors, man, that's a big deal.
Yeah.
Sometimes when you have, I would say the average is usually between 4 and 5.
Yeah, there's
On
usually
the boys,
attrition from the
boys
freshmen
side, it
up.
might be a little bit higher, but usually you get some years where you've got you're 9 or 10 of them, but usually they kind of, like you said, they kind of. They kind of phase themselves out at some point, or they go into something different.
They do, or they
focus
pick
on a different sport.
Yeah, they pick a different sport, or they,
Yeah.
they look and see a freshman when they're a junior is getting their spot because they've earned it, and they attrition takes it out.
But having 7 is big for your program. I always felt like when you saw a senior laden roster, it's like, oh man, they don't all have to play either. You just look at it and you go, there's some leadership there.
Yes,
and
absolutely.
That means there's usually some really good positivity on the bench and in the clubhouse as well, and that really helps your team. And having 7 of them is big for Notre Dame, and tribute to those guys for doing it for 4 years.
Yeah, well.
And I think some of them did and some of them didn't. I think we had I know like Lily had kind of a back injury after her freshman year and couldn't really play for a couple years, but was able to come back out this year. But that's just a big deal to have that many, and really it just solidifies your program.
Yeah, it does. I remember when I was playing basketball and other sports with Spalding back in the 80s, actually late 70s, early 80s. I want to make myself seem even younger than I am like that. I was just thrilled to have a senior in my sport, say something to me, pay attention to me, value something I did like that. And you get that with these girls.
Yeah.
You can tell that there's
I think
nobody's looked at as down as, you have to, you're going to be hazed or you're going to have to pay your dues or whatever.
Yeah.
You put the work in, you're going to be valued.
No, and I think the thing that you see in our programs is that there's really a mentorship between our older kids and our younger kids. And our older kids want to see our younger kids do well. I mean, I think a lot of times when you see a freshman score or you see a freshman do something great, it's those seniors that are telling them what a great job they did. And the other thing I always notice, and the thing that I appreciate, as an ex-coach, and is when those seniors, after they graduate, they come back to watch so many games. And I mean, I've noticed a few of them here the past couple nights.
Karen Higgins and Tessa Little were here.
They were here the other night. I saw Bridget Taylor was here the other night as well too.
Awesome.
And so it's always exciting when you see them come back. And there's a group of them. I think you'll notice it more when the postseason starts, because that's what our girls love, the postseason.
Yeah.
I mean, the postseason is just unbelievable. I mean, we get in the postseason, I'll start getting texts from some of them. I'm like, hey guys, I don't even coach there anymore. But they want to know, who they got to beat, and it's always, who do we have to beat?
Yeah.
Who do we have to play?
No, you don't have eligibility left.
I mean, because
Stop asking to be put in the game.
That's how our alums really feel about it. And I think it's the same on the boys' side too. You'll see them come back, and they're always excited about the postseason. But we've got a tradition, that we're gonna go and we're gonna compete, and we're gonna basically it's kind of cliche, but we're gonna die trying, to win it. So.
All right, minute and a half here. When this game sees itself off.
I was starting to believe we weren't going to play any soccer this week with the amount of rain.
Yeah.
And I was going to try to build an arc, but with the price of wood right now, it's not feasible. Although if you go into our commons area, you'll see all the wood barriers that they've put with plastic in. And I said to sister the other day, I go, you know, you basically have gold sitting out here on all these these tables with the amount of wood we have.
We can build the new school. These 6 pieces of cardboard and 14 2x4s. All right, 50 seconds left. I was wondering why you're going to the neighborhood with your tape measure.
Yep.
Just checking the circumference of my
saw
tree.
Me,
yeah.
You saw me out there. I'm like, ooh, is this walnut?
Walnut. This is nice.
I've literally got about 4 or 5 walnut trees in my backyard, and I've seen billboards like people want to come and cut them down, and they'll pay you for them. I'm like, I wonder what that payment is right now. I'm willing to get rid of every tree in my backyard.
Absolutely.
My wife always wanted a vegetable garden, and we have too much shade. So
That's right.
This is my chance, I think.
I think Nathan and Julie want some of their trees down too. We'll just do it for them.
Don't worry about it, Nathan. I'll take care of it.
I got a plan. 10 seconds left.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
All right, Irish pull out. That's not exactly the right phrase. Irish come out with a 9-0 victory against the Lady Lions from Peoria High on this 2020-2021 senior night for our 7 seniors.
Really a nice effort by everybody tonight. Getting this game in, and kind of getting the what is this? The second of 4 for the week. So
yeah.
Big soccer week here, and we're going to hopefully continue this tomorrow night and into Saturday. So it's been a great night.
All right, we'll see everybody 7 o'clock tomorrow night, and then on 10 o'clock Saturday morning for the next 2 Lady Irish home soccer games. Thanks, y'all.